Robocroc, released as a TV movie on September 14th, 2013, directed by Arthur Sinclair in his only directorial piece, written by Berkeley Anderson, writer of a number of crappy TV movies, starring Corin Nemec of Stargate SG-1 fame, Keith Duffy of Coronation Street fame, and horror legend Dee Wallace. So a bad CGI rocket launch kicks things off. Great start. It explodes, and the payload releases. It lands in a crocodile enclosure at a zoo, and it releases nanobots, which of course attach itself to the crocodile. A guy with a bunch of raw chickens is then going around feeding the animals. He throws one to Stella, our croc, and a badly CGI'd crocodile leaps out of the enclosure and chases our feeder. He chases our feeder into a giant sewer pipe, and the croc's eye is all like Terminator-like. It's like, okay, that's neat. The government then shows up. The army is there with Riley, played by Dee Wallace. We just assume she's some kind of government agent because she's not actually like at all mentioned what she is. But as we later found out, she is the scientist who developed the nanotech. They have the chief zookeeper, Duffy, played by Corin Nemec, and the new biologist, Jane, played by Lisa McAllister, shoot it with a tranq dart. And the dart that hits the croc is CGI'd bigger than the one that's put in the gun. Duffy and Jane then find some skin that's like partially metallic, to which Jane goes, "Why is she shedding?" It's like, bitch, you're the biologist. Shouldn't you know this? Shouldn't you have some kind of answer? The nanotech, shocker, reboots Stella's nervous system, and she eats a soldier. Meanwhile, the zoo also has a water park, ATV trails, etc. It's a massive place. The killer croc is on the loose, but it is still open as people party. Plenty of close-ups of women in bikinis, and a dude creepily filming him. So him and his friend, who happened to be Duffy's son, they get dumped into the pool because they're creeps. Duffy and Jane, they rescue the feeder from the lion's den of all places, and the croc is there too, and we assume that Stella eats the lion because it happens off screen. Then there is a random ass scene of Duffy showing Jane his scars. So this killer croc is literally on the loose in this giant park filled with people, and you're just busy like, hey, check this out. Think you have a little better things to worry about than, getting your dick wet, bro. At a fishing spot, the croc takes a drunk guy, and on the ATV trails, it jumps one guy, then drags him away with his mouth still wide open. Sounds about right for cheap CGI. At the water park, it just appears, and people, of course, run. Then the army decides to close the park, so naturally the gates close and lock people inside. And then the army's like, oh, we're going to kill it. And Riley's like, haha, LOL. Nope. Need that payload. And so then Duffy's like, you need to tell me what's going on. And Riley's like, haha, LOL, not happening. So he threatens to be like, hey, we have this skin, this crocodile skin. It's partially metallic. I bet the press would love this. And she just goes, yeah, national security, jail time, not happening. And then the army guy just proceeds to tell them anyway. It's like, well, what's the point of all the threats if you're just going to tell them anyway? There's a bad CGI helicopter looking for the croc, which, of course, it destroys. And then, shocker, Riley is controlling the croc with a tablet. Duffy calls a random Irishman, Nigel, played by Keith Duffy, and they apparently used to work together. It's honestly not entirely clear, because he just shows up. They go scuba diving with a high-powered tranquilizer. Someone gets eaten, and I honestly don't even remember there being a third person in the water with them. The army fires a high-power EMP, but shocker, Riley wakes Stella up. Duffy's kid is still there with his creep friend, the two girls his friend was filming, and one of their boyfriends. They make it to the ATV trails, and one of them gets eaten so they can conveniently fit on the two ATVs that are still just chilling there on the trails. And the croc just gives up chasing them. He's like, fuck it, I'm going to go this way. They go back to the water park for some reason, where they go to the middlemost high slide, saying, oh, we're going to be safe here. The Croc then appears, completely metal now, starts climbing. So naturally, Nigel literally jumps on top of the Croc and is just punching this metal monstrosity of a crocodile. And it's just the stupidest shit. And shocker, he's killed. So despite the Croc literally being right there, they decided to go down the slide. 3 on one slide, 1 on the other slide. The single rider gets eaten. Back in the sewers, because, we got to get back in the sewers, a grenade does 0 damage. So Duffy throws another EMP at it. And for whatever reason, Riley, she grabs the case that the EMP is in and lets the Croc drag her away as it explodes. What? That's how the movie ends. And honestly, this was just lame, but pretty on par for other crappy Sci-Fi Channel movies. The special effects are some of the worst, though, that I've seen from Sci-Fi, even for 2013. The acting is subpar, at best, with some just being so stone-faced and monotone. It just completely takes you out of the movie. Well, I mean, the movie itself kind of takes you out of the movie. So, yeah, the characters are dumb as they consistently just make bad decision after bad decision after bad decision just to further the plot along. One good decision would have ended the movie in probably about 20 minutes. The opening scene is never explained. Why did the rocket blow up? Why is the nanotech being shot into space? Why did they keep calling it the payload? It's like, okay, we get it. It's the payload. Just call it, we need the weapon. We need the nanotech. We need the nanobots. Why do they just keep saying payload? Movies like this can typically be fun watches and be so bad that they're good. Movies like Sharknado come to mind because the movie does not take itself too seriously. This is not that. This comes off like they were trying to make a serious movie about a crocodile consumed by nanotech. So instead of fun, it's just lame as hell. I give Robocroc an F. Thank you for watching Fatman Inc. Craptacular Horror. Leave a like if you enjoyed and a comment to discuss your thoughts. Make sure to subscribe to see more reviews of horror movies new and old. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.